Welcome to the Her Story Circle podcast, the podcast that brings you the extraordinary tales of everyday women who are changing the world. I'm your host, Gertrude Mache, and I'd like to acknowledge traditional custodians of the land on which we meet today. I also like to pay my respects to elders, past, present, and emerging. Every week, we dive into the lives, challenges, and triumphs of women from all four corners of the globe. We're here to inspire, enlighten, and connect, sharing stories that uplift and empower. So grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and join us as we explore the incredible journeys of women shaping our future. This is Her Story, where every woman's voice matters. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Her Story Circle. This is Gertrude Mache here in beautiful Melbourne, Australia. And today I am graced with the presence of yet another fascinating woman. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our tribe. I'm especially excited because she is a homegirl from Zimbabwe. Please tell everybody your full name, where you're based, and share your story with us today.
Hi everyone, my name is Theresa Mora. I'm based in the beautiful city of Melbourne, Australia. I am originally from Zimbabwe. Yeah. I'm going to start sharing my story now. I grew up in Zimbabwe. I was born and raised in Zimbabwe. I grew up in a family of 5. I had an older sister, 2 brothers, and a little sister, and me. I grew up as a conservative girl with a Christian background, with a loving father and a loving mom. When I turned 17, my world changed. I lost my parents to HIV/AIDS. I lost my little sister. I lost my older sister. All this happened in a short space of time. But at the age of 17, I was an HIV/AIDS orphan. Yeah, I was left with no guidance. I was left with no security. I didn't have a home. I didn't have food to eat. I started living with my grandmom, bless her. I lived with my grandmom, but I didn't have any guidance on life. I did my education. Education has been the pillar of my life, the pillar of my strength. With education, I managed to pass my O's. I got into an apprenticeship to do. Zimbabwe. When you're in Zimbabwe, you can do anything you like. I wanted to do an apprenticeship, and I did an apprenticeship in mechanical fitting and turning. It's a mechanical trade. I decided to enter the men's world. It has been a fun and exciting journey. I've come through and been challenged a lot by the men in my circle. In Zimbabwe, the men were not used to seeing a woman in their space, and I was right there, and I wanted to do it too, and I did. It's been a very satisfying journey. Zimbabwe, it's very good opportunities, but the systems were not quite working for me. I also was in a very difficult relationship. I am a mom of 2. I am mom to a boy who is 15, turning 16, and to a 7-year-old turning 30. Yay. Because I was in a difficult relationship, and because of the economic difficulties faced back home in Zimbabwe, even when I was enjoying my space in the workplace, I couldn't quite meet my financial needs. Life was pretty much hard. I worked hard, but there was nothing to show for it. I made the decision to migrate myself and my family to Australia. And now I'm here in Melbourne. I've been in Australia, Melbourne, for 1 year, 4 months. Everything is new, everything is different. It's been a culture shock, but it's been an amazing journey too. The opportunities here are just huge. The people are welcoming, and I'm in a space where I'm different, but I'm glad I'm here. I, every time I do something, I feel like I've done this before. I've been here before, and I can do it again. I want to show up here in this space, not just for me, but for all the girls that I left back home, for all the women that have been in my shoes. I want to show up for them, to show that with resilience and wanting it so much, you can literally get anything you want. You can literally be anything you want. You can get out. But for this to happen, the women need to be educated. The women need to be encouraged. The women need to be empowered. There's so much that women can do in their spaces. There's so much, they have a lot of hopes, a lot of dreams, but systems don't work. They are not educated. They don't have the resources. But if this could change, if women like me could get the support they need, they could become amazing. They could be anything they want. And when we have happy women, we have happy families. When we have happy families, we have happy societies and a happy nation. So my story to the world is of resilience through any adversity. I faced a divorce, I faced death, I faced HIV, and we had to live through and see my family members die one by one as a teenager. But I'm still here and I'm still trying, and I still want to stand up and let the ladies know, the women know, that you can be anything you want, that even when you're going through a dark tunnel, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. I'm still walking through, and I still see a very bright light at the end of my tunnel. And I hope this message of resilience and hope can touch one lady, can touch one girl to keep going no matter what, and trust the process that you will finally get there. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming online and sharing your story with us, Theresa. You know, I love it when I meet my homegirls, seeing us in this space as immigrants and breaking ground, being in a male dominated environment. So, what was the inspiration? This is very unusual for a Zimbabwean woman. Was it someone in your family who was doing it? What really got you to say this is going to be my vocation?
Um, what really got me into it, I discovered that when I was in high school, I liked fixing things. My grandma had a cringy old little stove that she had, and it was always broken down. And I decided, why not fix it? I can fix it. And I started fixing a stove. I fixed it, it broke down. I fixed it again. It continued to break down, but I continued to fix it. And I discovered that I really liked fixing things. It was not conventional for me to be fixing the stove in the home, but I really liked it. I did it. So when I got a chance to do an apprenticeship, I got into a very good training program with a company called Lafarge in Zimbabwe. It had a training program where you got to experience all the skills, all the trades that they had to offer. That you went through a little of each, and from all the trades, what connected with me was the mechanical, and I decided to do what I wanted. I just said, I like this, I want this, and I decided to grab it with both hands, and I did. And and I love my job.
That's just incredible. So, what's a day in your life like balancing work and motherhood, especially as a single mother?
Yeah, it's not easy at all. The other day, I was driving my daughter to school. I had to be somewhere by 8, and I was driving her to before care, and she had forgotten her bag at home where the school gate, and she didn't have her bag in the car. So it's a challenge being alone, but it's another challenge that I'm meeting, but I'm quite positive about it. I'm 100% certain that I'll emerge on the other side. Having done it, yeah, having 2 kids, I do aftercare. I have a full-time job. Sometimes I do before care and after care. I have to take care of their meals. I have to take care of their activities. I have to juggle a lot, and through God, and I've been able to do it. It's a challenge, and I'm glad to say I'm still here, one day at a time, one step at a time is what I say. And yeah, it's all right. I'm all right.
So, what have been some of the most challenging breakdowns that you've fixed so far?
Um, every breakdown is a little different.
Yeah.
That I love most about my job. The most challenging breakdown, I would say breakdowns, was when I worked in Wanambu. It was a meat manufacturing company. So
Mhm.
when a breakdown happened, there would be like 100 people waiting on me to fix it. And sometimes I would have to get up there. So I would qualify that as the most challenging. I would have to get up on a machine and
Yeah.
be standing on me to fix it fast. And I would, and I did. And when I got down, and the people, like, it was a stage for me to show my skill set, and I did. And yeah, it felt amazing. It was a challenge, and I emerged, and it felt really great.
So, how have you earned respect in a male dominated industry? It's got to be difficult for a woman working in these spaces.
It's quite difficult, but the one thing that I've learned is to respect myself first. When I respect myself, all the men around me, they
Yeah.
respect. I respect them too. I am my brother's keeper. They are my brothers, and in turn, I am their sister, and we work in harmony. But there have been a few challenges. Some men don't believe it the way I believe it. Even back home in Zimbabwe, men did want to cross boundaries, but if there are supportive systems, a woman can be safe in the workplace. And I'm very fortunate that throughout this journey in a male dominated industry, I have been safe. The systems have worked to protect me from any type of abuse. Yeah, and yeah.
That's fantastic. So, what role does safety play in your daily mindset at work?
Safety is the number one priority.
Hmm.
um Without safety, no, we can't talk about without safety. Safety is the number one priority in everything that I do. I am my brother's keeper. So before any task at all, I make sure I identify the hazards and risks associated with the job that I'm doing. And I make sure that my brothers are kept safe, and I make sure that I am safe, and I make sure that the environment is kept safe. So safety is the number one priority. Yeah.
Right. Wow. So, how do you stay updated on both hands-on and digital maintenance tools?
In my workplace, uh, we have systems that are online. There
Mm,
is the Next system, the Sage system. So we have systems that are online that help you to take the information from the computer that guide you, and there are planners and managers who update all the information as I need it. It's updated frequently and yeah, continuously, and all I need to do is access the information from the online system and put it into practice out there in the factory. And it works really quite well. Yeah.
fantastic. So, can you share how you use Sage X3 or MX in your work and explain what those terms are as well?
Um, Sage and MEX are maintenance softwares. So I use them to access maintenance information and to
Mhm,
input data on any maintenance requests or any improvements or any feedback that I need to be in the system. I access the data, I log in, I see my tasks for the day, I
mhm,
complete my tasks and in the time frame that I need to complete my tasks, and I do it. If I have any feedback or if I have any challenges, immediately I communicate with my manager. But
mhm,
if I have any improvements that I need to be done on a machine, I input the data onto the Sage, onto the Max, and this data is further like studied by the planners and the managers, and in the next maintenance program or maintenance date, the improvements will be there and will be implemented, and everyone is aware of what is happening. And when we improve, we continuously improve, the machine runs smoother. When we do the maintenance on time and in time, using the resources that we need, everything, we save money, we cut costs, we cut time, and like everything runs smoother. And yeah, that's how the maintenance softwares work.
wow. So there's a lot of education that you need to be a woman in your profession. So what is the biggest misconceptions about women in trades at the moment?
I would say the biggest conception about women in trades is it's very hard work.
Mm-hmm.
A woman cannot do it, or it's very intellectually challenging,
Mm-hmm.
and a woman cannot do it. And sometimes the pay gap is real. When a person believes that you don't do it as good as them, that's their opinion, not yours. They
Mm-hmm.
sort of think that you don't deserve the same money as them, but
Yeah.
you've worked hard, sometimes even twice as hard, and you deserve everything they deserve. And
Yeah.
sometimes think the same as you, and yeah, sometimes things happen, and yeah, those have been the most challenging things.
Wow. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be in your shoes. So, how do your children inspire your career and your life?
um when I was back home in Zimbabwe, all I was trying to do was to put food on their table, keep
Mm.
them clothed, keep them housed. All I wanted was to just keep them in a comfortable life and
Yeah.
do that. But now that I'm here in Australia, I want to be a role model, and I want to show them that you can be anything you want. You can do anything you want. And my son is in the process of making a decision, but just this morning I signed his apprenticeship form, and he thinks
Oh,
electro technology as an apprentice. So yeah, but through seeing me, you is trying to walk in the same footsteps, and we'll see how it goes. Being a role model for my kids, I think is shaping uh their way, their life, and I'm really grateful for this opportunity.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic. So, what advice would you have for single mothers who want to enter into technical careers?
um I would tell them that it's not easy,
Mhm.
but it's so rewarding. It's so satisfying. The money is good.
I love it.
Like it's any challenges. What makes it more rewarding is that it's more challenging.
Yeah.
When you go through a challenge and you emerge victorious, the feeling is amazing. And
Mm,
ladies, to embrace these challenges because the rewards are so much greater. And
yeah.
yeah, you would be happy. I'm happy. I'm happy. I love my job. Sometimes
Mm,
I work with ladies who tell me I don't like my job. I don't like with this career. You can love your job. I get to create something. I weld, and sometimes I get to create something from nothing, and I'm
yeah.
amazed that I make that, and I did, and yeah, it feels amazing. So
Oh,
embrace
that's awesome.
and walk through.
So, what would your dream job or your next step in your career look like?
Um, I want to study further mechanical engineering. I want to become a mechanical engineer. I see a lot of structures. I see a lot of things that have been done, especially as I've come here to Australia. I am
Mhm.
now aware of my surroundings, and I see a lot of amazing eh, things that have been engineered, and I want to get into this. I want to do this too. I want to make amazing things that work for the community, for everyone. And if I can get there, imagine what I can do for my country.
Yeah.
Imagine for Zimbabwe. So I want to get into mechanical engineering. Tried to enroll.
Hmm.
I process of enrolling for a mechanical engineering bachelor's, and I hope it gets through. Yeah. So I want. Yeah, that's what I want. That's my next.
So, how do you take care of your mental and physical health, especially when you're under pressure?
Ooh, well, I always try to go back to basics. I
Hmm.
eat, I sleep, and I exercise. So this keeps me grounded, and yeah, it makes everything work. But sometimes things get hard. When
Yeah,
things are hard, I self-care. I take care of myself. I take a nice bubble bath. I eat my favorite meal. I cook my favorite meal. I go out with friends. I self care. So yeah, that's how I keep myself yeah, in a good space.
that's really good and good advice to any mothers out there as well.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
have you ever had a moment where you almost gave up, and what got you through that challenge?
So last week I got my forklift license. Now I can drive a forklift. Yeah.
Wow,
Oh,
amazing.
thank you. During my test, I thought I couldn't do it. I just, this way I was literally scared. I
Wow,
scared. And then I made an error. I lifted a load in the wrong way, but I couldn't quite see it. I couldn't see that I had done it wrongly. And
right.
And my instructor told me, you cannot proceed. You have to fix what you've done wrong, or you
Okay.
did with the test. And I thought I had failed.
Oh, wow.
I
And then you
breathed,
figured it out?
I took a breath, and I decided to try again. I did,
Okay.
I put the load down, I did it again. And that moment, even as I wasn't seeing it, I wasn't seeing the error. But because I put my load down and I tried again, I moved out
Yeah.
and I back in. I managed to pick up the load exactly right. I didn't know all this was happening. I was still just doing it. Even as
Yeah.
I failed, I said I will continue doing it. And I continued with my test step by step in the way I should have. And I
Right.
followed the stages and I emerged. I have my forklift license. So yeah, try.
I love it. I know that there's a lot of work if you know how to use heavy equipment in Australia. There's a lot of people who are going out into the mines, doing the FIFO jobs, flying in, flying out.
Yes.
So you could easily go into that field as well if you wanted. That's
Yes,
just crazy.
yes, I can literally be okay, and it's amazing.
So, what does the future of trades and engineering look like for women, do you think?
Um, the numbers are not really great.
Mm,
A lot of work needs to be done. Like a lot of work needs to be done to get more women into these trades. More support systems. If I wasn't in a space in a workplace that allows me to start at 9:30 and finish at 6, I have
yeah,
kids of I might not have been able to do this. When I was in Zimbabwe, I had a baby and I needed to express breast milk, and
yeah,
I had the facilities. The company gave me those facilities. So
right.
women lot of support because
Yeah,
they are mothers, and they need already they are scared because they are different. They are women and there are not many women. So they need a
yeah.
lot to yeah. And the future, if the support is there, I believe, yeah, we would see more ladies in.
Yeah, yeah, that would be good to have more women in the trades.
Yes.
Wow. So now my last two questions for you are a bit of a thought experiment. In the first one, I'm going to take you back to the past. And we are going to go and meet that young Zimbabwean girl who was starting out in a male dominated career. If you could go back and give her three nuggets of wisdom based on what life has taught you up until this point, what would those three nuggets of wisdom be? Just in case there's a young woman of color who is thinking about going into the trade industry and doesn't know where to start, what would you have wanted somebody to have told you?
I would have wanted someone to tell me this. Trust the process. A lot of women do not see the the end or the light at the end of the tunnel. Trust the process. Continue to show up every day. That's one nugget. My second nugget is it's their opinion, not yours. Your opinion is what matters most. Believe in yourself. What you think for yourself is what will manifest. You need to believe in yourself. And my third nugget is integrity. Do everything as if the world is watching, as if you're on a stage. Do everything. Try to do things clearly and in the right manner. Sometimes you don't get to have second chances. Do it right. Do it once. Do it like you're on a stage, like everyone is watching. give it your best shot. Yeah, those are my three nuggets.
Absolutely wonderful advice. I absolutely love this. So we've got a couple of people who are chiming in online. Online Prosperity Show is saying great stuff. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to the podcast today. Please do connect with me if you also want to be on the podcast. We have a lot of Zimbabweans. I've shared this podcast in a Zimbabwean group, in the Blacks in Business group on WhatsApp. Please spread the message, share this with others. Let's get our voices out there so that we are visible and we are seen as well. And then we also had Sandra Mukundu. Thank you so much for chiming in and supporting the Zim girls who are online today sharing this podcast. So, my last question for you is, if I could teleport you into the future, to go and meet the future you. You are now 90 years old. You're sitting in your rocking chair. Maybe you're still welding and making something. I don't know. But you're surrounded by your children and your grandchildren. If you could go and have a conversation with this wise woman who has led you up until this point, what will you say to her when you finally meet her? And I'll tell you the reason why I like to ask women this question. A lot of women don't realize that the wise woman is already in us, that we are all born with gifts to share with the world. But we doubt ourselves, we don't trust our intuition. You wanted to go into this male dominated environment as a fitter and turner, and you did it. But there was something inside you, a little voice that said, do it. So if you could go and talk to this wise woman who has been leading you all your life, what will you say to her when you finally meet her?
If I could, I would, if I could go into the future and I would become the old woman, and I would tell my family, my grandkids, that don't forget to give your baton stick to the next person. Throughout all these processes, I need to lift the next person. I need to hold the next woman. Women may be scared to step into a lot of spaces, but if they see you, if they see me, they can take the baton stick, they can hold my hand, and we can walk together. So the message would be, do not forget to lift the next person, to hold their hand. Yeah.
That's absolutely beautiful. We do have to be the example of what's possible. You showing up like this, you're showing a lot of young Black girls, African women, that it's possible to break into these male dominated spaces. But I
It is.
do love the fact that you are supporting and helping others who want to get into the space. People need a lot of mentoring and supporting. So people can get hold of you through LinkedIn. I know you play a lot on LinkedIn. Is that correct?
Yes, yes, through LinkedIn. My name is Theresa Mora on LinkedIn.
So hopefully we will have people reaching out to you, young girls who want to go into the trade. Maybe you could start a coaching program to support and help them. But I'm really excited to have had you on the show and to share you with our community today. Thank you so much for the interview.
Thank you for putting me out on your show. I'm really grateful for this exciting opportunity. I'm really glad I got to speak my story, and I hope that it might touch someone, anyone, one lady, one woman, one girl. Thank you.
It's an absolute pleasure. And just so people know, Teresa is going to be one of our speakers at our Her Story Online Summit on the 21st to the 31st of August. She is lined up on day one. So if you want to hear her story again and see what she is doing in her life, please register to come to the online summit. Thanks, everybody. I'll be back again tomorrow with yet another amazing guest. Just remember that the Her Story is not just a podcast. We're a social impact movement that brings you the stories and voices of women from all over the world. We share our stories to uplift you, to inspire you, to energize you, but most importantly, to help take you from where you are now to where you're trying to go. So if you are a woman with a vision to break into a male-dominated environment, to become an engineer, an electrician, a fitter and turner, we've given you an example of the possibility. Tune in again tomorrow, everybody, when I interview yet another amazing guest. In the meantime, have a fantastic day, morning, or evening, wherever you are in the world. And Theresa, thanks again for the interview.
Thank you, Gertrude.
Bye for now, everybody. Thank you for tuning into the Her Story Circle podcast. I hope today's story has inspired you to believe in the power of our stories and the difference you can make in the world when you use your voice. I'm Gertrude Mache, and it's been an honor to share this space with you, where voices from all walks of life come together to weave a rich tapestry of diverse perspectives. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review our podcast to help us share these stories with more listeners. Follow us on social media by looking for the Her Story Circle podcast for more updates. And join us tomorrow for another episode filled with courage, resilience, and empowerment. Remember, your story matters, and together we're building a stronger, more inclusive world. Until next time, keep making her story.